I'm reviewing the Scale Trains in-scale AC4400CW right now on Ron's Rail Reviews. Hi, I'm Ron, and welcome to Ron's Rail Reviews. One of the major trends in railroading that modelers of modern railroads have to consider is the advent and the proliferation of AC power in locomotives. Prior to the 1990s, some railroads and manufacturers had dabbled and experimented with AC power, but by far the vast majority of locomotives were still running on direct current traction motors. Now, AC power was more expensive up front, which was a drawback for a lot of railroads, but the plus was the fact that it provides much greater low-end torque, so it was perfect for the growing number and size of unit trains, especially coal trains coming out of the Powder River Basin. Well, one of the early and very successful versions of AC power was the General Electric AC4400CW, and these were such great locomotives that over 2,800 of them were produced over the life of production from 1993 to 2004. Now, Scale Trains has produced a very nice version of the AC4400CW in scale, and I'm going to be taking a look at it today. Now, this locomotive actually came out a couple of months before the recording of this video, and I had pre-ordered one, so I received one right away. Unfortunately, over the last few months, my life had taken several left turns, and so I'm just now getting around to recording the video. And I won't get into all of the stuff about my life, but if you're interested, I made a video about what's been going on my other channel, Ron's Trains and Things, and I'll post a link to it in the description down below if you'd like to check it out. But in the meantime, I'm excited about getting this locomotive running on my layout, so let's head on over to the workbench, open it up, and take a look. This locomotive comes packaged in Scale Train's now standard for in-scale, sturdy cardboard box with a removable lid. Inside, the first thing you will see is this fantastic owner's manual, which has been completely upgraded and redone by Scale Trains over the last year or so. It has prototype information about CVs, functions, and much, much more. The locomotive is packaged in a plastic clamshell inside of a sleeve that is set in a foam surround. The handrails are protected by strips of foam. Removing this packaging reveals the beautiful paint and details of the model. I absolutely love the see-through grills on the back end of the long hood, as well as the separately applied undersill piping. The paint is as crisp and clean as you could hope. I checked the model for standards compliance. The couplers were the correct height, and all of the wheels were perfectly engaged. The model weighed in at 3.8 ounces, which is in the cone of average for in-scale 6-axle locomotives. Before I go too far, let me say that here at Ron's Rail Reviews, I bring you product reviews and hobby news. So if that's your thing, be sure to subscribe down below and click the bell icon so you can catch future videos. Taking the model out to the layout, I tested it at slow speed. As is often the case, out of the box the model ran in a bit of a herky-jerky fashion at speed step 1, but it ran consistently at 1.7 scale miles per hour. At speed step 2, it ran smoothly between 4.9 and 5 scale miles per hour. Now, the jerky motion at speed step 1 will usually go away as the model is broken in, but if you're impatient to solve this issue, as I often am, you can do as I did and change CV2, the start voltage. Out of the box, this model had a start voltage setting of 3. I increased it to 5, which smoothed out the running at speed step 1, but increased the speed at that step to 3.3 miles per hour. I tested the couplers at slow speed with both microtrain lines and Accumate couplers and found they performed flawlessly with both. Now, I'll let you hear the sound of this locomotive as I also perform a pulling test. My usual pulling test consist is a train of 24 cars out of the south end of my north yard through 2 turnouts and around an 18-inch curve. Pulling this train with just the one locomotive, it stalled, so I started removing cars to see how many it could pull. The answer was 18 cars pulled consistently and smoothly through these conditions. It shoved the same 18 cars through the same trackage with relative ease. I'm sorry this clip is out of focus, but I consisted this locomotive with another Scale Trains locomotive and found that the two ran in consist straight out of the box flawlessly. Here's some still shots of the details of the locomotive. I found this locomotive to not only look great with beautiful detail, but it ran well and it sounded good too. I need a number of AC units for my layout, which is set in 2008, so this one is a welcome addition to my fleet. As of the recording of this video, there are still a number of this original run of AC4400CWs still available at scaletrains.com, but also a new run is being produced with an anticipated delivery of April 2025. So be sure to check these out today. And check out the links on your screen for more locomotive reviews and spotlights of other Scale Train products, and I'll see you on the next video. 10 Lizzie?